Hi friends, it's Saturday evening and no it's not. Hi friends, it's Sunday evening and I want to do some reading. So let's. I just finished a book on my e-reader that I didn't really enjoy. And I do have another book I am kind of currently reading, which is Well of Ascension. I'm like 300 pages into it. But honestly, I feel like picking up something else, which is like my constant curse. This is why I have so many books I'm currently reading on Goodreads. But I love the feeling of picking up a new book and being excited about it and see whether you will devour it or not. So I thought that, hey, I feel like randomizing my TBR. It's in the middle of the month. I do have a set September TBR, but I've sort of low-key been scrapping it because I have not read as much as I anticipated so far in September. I'm not gonna beat myself up about it. So I want to start a new book and see how that goes. So I thought I would randomize it. I have counted all of the books and I think I concluded that I have 124 books on my currently reading. I will either do a just random reading vlog of this, I guess, for the upcoming week, or perhaps I should turn it into a reading until I get a 5-star, because it's been a while since I read a 5-star that wasn't a reread. So yeah, maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should make this into this video stops when I read a 5-star. I'll do that. And we'll start by me randomizing a book. I'm hoping it's gonna be a short book. If this freaking video gives me Priory of the Orange Tree or War and Peace, I'm gonna riot. So hi, welcome to This Video Stops When I Read a 5-star Book. Great, we have the intro. I'm simply gonna screen record and we're gonna see what book is gonna get picked. I'm gonna have a veto. If it's a book I don't really feel like reading or it's a long ass book, especially since I still have Well of Ascension right there, I'm gonna veto and pick something else. Randomizing between 1 and 124 books. Let's go. 12. Interesting. Welcome. Let's move this one and count to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. I am a moron. I've just sat down and am editing the intro for this vlog where I apparently can't count to 12. Because what I'm saying right there isn't book 12. That's book 11. I'm an idiot. I'm such a moron. But you know what? I'm gonna make the executive decision, since I'm the producer of this video, that I'm gonna continue to go with that book. Sorry, but I'm gonna leave this in. I feel stupid. I'm looking stupid, I know. I'm gonna stick with this book, but I'm well aware that it's the wrong book. I'm sorry. Interesting. Not what I expected, but okay. Okay, so book number 12 on my shelf is Things We Say in the Dark by Kirsty Logan. This is an anthology, which means it's a collection of short stories. And I've never really read a short story collection, I think, so this will be interesting. It's fairly short, which is why I'm fine with picking it up. It's about 200-something pages, I think. Yeah, 220. It's also horror. I rarely read horror. Do I think this will be a 5-star? No. Just because it's so different from what I tend to read and what I typically give 5 stars. I'm not that well versed in horror. I haven't really read short story collections before, so like it doesn't have the odds on its side, but I am intrigued by this. I'm actually excited now. Okay, let's start this freaking vlog. Let's do this thing. I sort of just decided about this now, but let's do this. This video stops when I read a 5-star. Let's go. Hi. I realized that I probably didn't tell you what this book is about. I purchased this one when I was in Edinburgh. We went to the Golden Hare bookstore. I have the bookmark actually. The clerk basically said that this is one of the... I don't remember which words he used. He was scared shitless from this. Or it was one of the weirdest things he's read or something along those lines. So far I'm liking it. I read one story, I guess. I like the writing a lot. I do. It's very atmospheric. It feels very poetic. Actually, it's almost like reading poetry. So I do like the writing. Still not certain where the story will go, what's gonna happen. The back says the book is about a woman who is alone in a remote house in Iceland and is unnerved by her isolation. Dark tales that explore women's fears with electrifying honesty and invention and speak to one another about female bodies, domestic claustrophobia, desire and violence. I'm intrigued at least. Hi! I'm home post-work and I'm gonna read a bit. I'm about halfway through, I think, or closer to at least, and I'm actually aiming to finish this book today, which would be very cool. I like it. It's very atmospheric. The stories are not that different from each other, as I would say, but I've gotten to the second part. I lost it now, but I think there's multiple parts to this book as well. First part is the house. We then have a second part that is called The Child. So that's what I'm reading now. And I really like the illustrations that are in the book as well, actually. But yeah, continuing with the book basically, and aim is to finish it today. Wish me luck. Okay, I really need to get like a gorilla stand or something for this camera, but that's on the list, amongst other things. I finished my book, hold up. I finished Things We Say in the Dark. I did enjoy it, I think more at first, and then I got a bit bored, or not bored, but just uninterested, I guess. But I need to say I adore the writing. I think the writing is wonderful, really atmospheric, and really interesting. This writer does some really interesting things in some of the short stories. So there's like one short story that's told entirely through footnotes, which is really interesting. Like that's the purpose. It's like 5 pages. And like there can be a sentence with 5 footnotes or something like that. So that is really cool. The short story right after it, like is a sort of questionnaire. And the questions just develop in a way that's a bit intriguing as well. I think this book is really interesting. It's really atmospheric. It's divided into 3 parts. We have part 1, which is house, part 2, which is the child, and part 3, which is the past. I think I preferred the house. I found that one to be the most atmospheric and the most creepy. I'm low-key obsessed, not entirely obsessed, but I'm very glad that I read it. I thought I would give it 4 stars, especially at first with all of the atmosphere, but I decided to give it like 3.5. Mainly because I didn't really connect as much to the later stories in the book. But once again, I'm so glad I read it. I thought that I would now pick a new book. Once again, we'll see if I need to step in and do some veto, because I want a book that I will be able to finish within like the next 48 hours, I would say. Like busy 48 hours. But I thought I would attempt to randomize again. Last time I randomized out of 124 books, I guess. So now I'm gonna do 123. I need to figure this out. My camera is now on a pillow. I think you see it. So, let's randomize. I'm scared again. 3, 2, 1. Can you see it? I can't see it. What is it? Is that 66? Yep. 66 it is. Welcome back. Let's count.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And go up again. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. Okay. 46, right? 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. 57, 58, 59,
60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66. Interesting. Well, why the heck not? This didn't go as planned. I think I feel like I don't trust myself with my counting anymore since I messed up so badly on the previous book. So I'm just gonna double check. And to think I was this close to getting the smallest freaking book ever. Wouldn't that have been epic? The book that was chosen was Start Your Own Fucking Brand by Maria Eriksson. She's the one who established the brand Nudie Jeans, which is a Swedish jeans brand. I wear those jeans myself, so I do quite love them. I got this book from my brother a while back. It's not that long, to be fair. It's about 200 pages. It's a non-fiction. It's about how to start a business, I guess, and some of her philosophy and similar. So I guess I'm gonna give it a go. I did say I wanted a book that I would be able to finish within the next 48 hours, and I think I will be able to do it with this one. But I don't think this is gonna be a 5-star book though. So this is an interesting approach, randomizing my books until I find a 5-star. I do think, I know, I have a certain feeling that this vlog will continue into my trip to Croatia, which means that I need to plan my reading for Croatia in this vlog. I'm gonna be bringing the Well of Ascensions. I'm 300 pages into it and have about 500 to go, so this will be like what I read on the plane and all of that. I also want some romance. I think I will bring King of Wrath, and then maybe something else. I think I'm gonna attempt to randomize more of the TBR, but that is to come. I will quickly recap, but I finished Start Your Own Fucking Brand. As a memoir, it's not that great, to be honest. As a tribute to jeans and to the brand Nudie Jeans, sure. But as a memoir, I found it to be very all over the place in the storytelling. Like there was no red line, things just kept appearing, disappearing. I didn't really follow. I struggled a lot with just the time frame of everything and the timeline of when things were happening, because she would refer to something and then go back to it and then not go back to it and then mention it later, and it was always which year are we in, what's going on, how's the development going. I'm also not really sure what the book is trying to do, if it's meant for, well, obviously it's meant for fans of Nudie Jeans, but it doesn't really give you any business advice. It doesn't really give you the entirety of her story. 2.5 stars. Not really a fan, but I read it. Continuing with the journey of finding a 5-star. Hello friends! It's time to continue with this vlog. I'm back home from Croatia. Perhaps you have seen a few clips from that, but I'm gonna talk you through the books I read. Because as this title of this video is claiming, this video won't stop until I read a 5-star. So I need to talk you through the books I read, if any of them were a 5-star, or if I need to continue with this video. Where we left off is that I had finished Start Your Own Fucking Brand by Maria Eriksson. If you're a fan of jeans, both as the clothing item and also the fabric, and if you're a fan of the Nudie Jeans brand, then perhaps you will enjoy this one. But as a memoir, I found it quite all over the place without really saying anything. It's a collectible item for fans. It's not an amazing memoir. I gave it 2.5 stars. Didn't really expect to give it such a high rating anyway, since it also was a randomized book. I read it at least, and I'm happy with that. Next book I completed while I was away was The Well of Ascension. I started this when I traveled earlier in September when I was in Spain. I read about 300 pages, and now when I was in Croatia, I read the rest of the book, so 500 pages. This is the sequel to The Final Empire. I loved and adored The Final Empire. This one focuses a lot more. It's obviously about the aftermath of everything that goes down in the first book, the consequences. It focuses a lot more on the political side of this world. It is definitely slower, occasionally almost boring. I still adore the world. I like the magic system and the world so much, but the story is a lot slower. It sometimes feels like we're constantly in the same place. We're basically stuck in the palace or the castle or wherever they are, the place where they are making all of their plans. The point of views we get, they feel sort of dulled down or something. Even though they are characters I really enjoyed in the first book, they are a tad bit more boring in this one. I don't really know how to explain it. I believe it is because of the circumstances and the situation that they are in and that they need to act a certain way, basically. But for me, it was a bit more boring. Like, the Final Empire was so fun and grand and exciting, and like we're following this heist scheme by these thieves and culprits and criminals, and it's fun, it's exciting. And here suddenly all of these grey people are supposed to run a kingdom, and it's a bit odd, and I think they feel it themselves. They said it themselves, like, oh, wait, why is this our responsibility now? What's going on? We were just a bunch of thieves doing a scheme. I did enjoy it. I think it's well written. I like the world. I will definitely continue with the series. But I only, I guess, gave it 4 stars because it wasn't as fun as the first one. It was a bit slower, a bit more boring, yada yada. But yeah, 4 star. I'm glad I finished it though. Next book I read was actually The Mysterious Case of the Alperton Angels by Janice Hallett. This is the first time I read a Janice Hallett book. This is actually a book that my mom gifted me. She bought it for me at the airport. So thank you, Mom. I've heard good things about this one. All I knew about it was that it was a mystery. But then I started to flip through it. And it's entirely told through mixed media. So it's told through like WhatsApp messages and emails and like scripts and excerpts from books and stuff like that. This is fun. This one I liked a lot. It's basically about this true crime author who gets the task of writing a book about the notorious Alperton Angels cult. There have been dozens of books and films about the Angels ever since the night nearly 2 decades ago when they attempted to sacrifice a baby they believed to be the Antichrist. With all the cultists now dead, apart from their charismatic leader, it seems like there's nothing new to say about the Angels until now. The Alperton baby has turned 18 and can finally be interviewed, and if Amanda can track them down, it will be the scoop of the year. But rival author Oliver Menzies is just as smart, better connected, and is also on the trail. As Amanda and Oliver are forced to collaborate, they realize that what everyone thinks they know about the Angels is wrong. The truth is something much darker and stranger, and the devilish story of the Alperton Angels is far from over. I like this one a lot. I liked how the further we got into the book, the more complex the mystery and this case got. I liked that the crime was like cultish, about a cult. We have this thing about like angels and stuff. I like the topics of this one a lot. I enjoyed the mixed media of it. I like the characters. I had a great time reading this. I read the majority of it while I was on the beach in one day. And I had so much fun with it, honestly. Unfortunately, it wasn't a complete home run for me. I ended up giving it 4.5 stars. I don't know why I couldn't give it the full 5 stars. It's not gonna be a favorite book, but I'm definitely intrigued to read more books like this one in the future and read more mysteries. I'm entering my mystery era, I think. I like this book a lot. I want to read more like this. I might check out Janice Hallett's other books as well, but it wasn't a complete favorite. I don't know why. Perhaps because some things in the story developed in a way that I found to be a bit too unrealistic, maybe, especially by the end of the book, and one of the characters' developments seemed a bit odd, although fun and interesting, but a bit too odd and a bit too out there, I think. I'm still not 100% certain of what actually happened. I think I'm a bit confused, and the story could be a bit clearer about a few things. I know it's supposed to keep like an air of mystery surrounding it, but there are a couple of things in the end when things were revealed that I'm still not certain about. So like there are a few question marks, there are a few doubts on my side, but definitely an enjoyable read, and I do recommend it to basically everyone. Like it's a good old time. It was really fun, and I was so surprised that the entire book is told through mixed media. I did not expect that at all. So highly recommend. And those were the books I read. I did start a final book today. I'm not gonna count this to this challenge though, but Because I had finished all the books I was the most excited about, I had brought another book with me on my travels, and I started it on the flight back home. That is The Wedding Party by Tammy Cohen. This is in no way a 5-star prediction for me at all. I don't even think I'm gonna bother with finishing this one in this vlog. This is a classic, typical mystery. They go to a wedding on the Greek islands and they find a body, and then it's like a whodunit or something. So far, characters are not really likable. I'm 120 pages into the story. There still hasn't really been a crime yet. Like, it's still just a bunch of family drama so far. But what we need to do then is to find a book that I might actually give 5 stars. Like, I've done the randomization. I read a couple of like exciting reads that have been close. But I think we need to have some more intent with the books I'm gonna read, especially since my October TBR will be kicking in soon as well, because today is September 29th. So I'm gonna have a look on my shelves for a book I think I might actually give 5 stars. I'm gonna pull out a few options. Doing this challenge made me realize that it's been a few months since I read a 5-star. I read 2 5 stars in August, but that was because those were rereads. So it's been a couple of months since my last 5-star. I've pulled out a few options and I feel like I'm even more confused than I was before. I'm not the person to have 5-star predictions being short books. And I would really want a short book for this because, as I said, my October TBR will kick in a couple of days. But this is what we're dealing with. So there is like an obvious way I could do this, because yes, I could continue with a fantasy series, either fantasy series. Like, I could decide to continue with any fantasy series because I've enjoyed that fantasy series and those sequels will most likely have a high rating. So I could either continue with like the Greenbone Saga and read Jade Legacy, or The Burning and read The Fires of Vengeance. But that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm not in the mood to pick up one of these beasts. I don't know what mood I'm in. I don't know if I'm in a romance mood or not. There are a couple of romance books I might enjoy, but I don't know if I'm in a romance mood. Like, I pulled out Set on You because I loved X's and O's. But like, since I loved X's and O's, usually when you read like a companion novel series, there's always one favorite and the other ones are like good but not the same. So like, if I've already read one great one, I don't know if this would also be a 5-star. Like, is that even possible? Maybe, but like, it would probably be a quick read at least. Magnolia Parks have been calling out to me for a while, but like, I don't really have any track record at all with TikTok romances, to be fair. It's like, either this might be amazing or I might hate it, I don't know. 7 Days in June, seen plenty of people give this one 5 stars. Might be what I should go with, but from what I know, it's quite sad. So like, those are romance options, but then we could go the fantasy route. I could attempt to start Assassin's Apprentice and start my Robin Hood journey. I do think this could be a 5-star, but like, am I ready to start another fantasy story? I don't know. The Adventures of Amina Al-Sirafi, this is a 5-star prediction of mine. But once again, we have a chunky fantasy on our hands, which I should read either way because it's a 2023 release and I want to stay up to date with those. And then we have the 2 options I'm considering, like seriously considering. So I just, before all my travels, I picked up He Who Drowned the World. And I just said that, oh, I don't want to continue with a series. Well, this is the exception. I really enjoyed She Who Became the Sun, and I'm even more excited about this one. I also want to make like a dedicated review for it and all. So I read the first chapter and I've started to tap it and all of that. So I might actually continue with this. This is a 5-star prediction of mine. But once again, it's a chunker, 500 pages of epic fantasies. Or my other route might be to go with the so famous Fourth Wing. I've seen people give this 5 stars. I've seen people give it 1 star. I have no clue where I would end up on that spectrum. Perhaps I will love it. So perhaps this is the one I should try. I don't know. I'm going to have a thinker on this one, I think. I have my options. Otherwise, we're just going to have to continue on to my October TBR, I guess. The struggles. So like, am I in a romance mood or a fantasy mood? Oh, another option though. I also pulled out The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I do love The Monk and the Robot series by Becky Chambers. I've been meaning to read this series. So maybe too many options. I need to think about this. I have a feeling that this video is gonna go on forever. I'm trying to pick up He Who Drowned the World, but like, I'm so confused by the first 3 chapters or more. It's been about 2 years since I read the first book, but I shouldn't be this confused. There's so many names I need to look up again. I'm so confused. I'm really struggling to get into it. I am excited about it. It's really difficult, I must admit. I'm not feeling it being a 5-star at the moment already, which sucks, but we'll see if that changes once I actually get more into the story. The other book I'm currently reading, because I always need to have multiple ones going on, of course. This is the one I've decided to bring with me when I'm on my commute and such. That is Dracula, because I need to focus on my October TBR. I've only read about 12 pages, so I'm only on the first chapter. But we'll see. It's gonna be interesting, because I feel like it's written already very differently than I first expected. I don't really know what to expect, if I'm honest. I don't know the origin story of Dracula, really. Not Dracula as in the vampire, but Dracula as in the book. I actually don't know. But it seems to be that it's about a lawyer that's going to meet Count Dracula because he has been hired. He's on his way, he's traveling there, and it seems to be like when he mentions to people that he's going there, they are sort of scared for him. And also what's fun is, this is sort of taking place in like Central European and Slavic countries. There's mentions of Czechs and Slovaks, which is like my heritage, which is pretty fun. They reference Slivovitz, which is a plum liquor and stuff. So I do quite enjoy that part, if I'm being honest. These two, will any of them be a 5-star? I don't freaking know. This video is gonna go on forever. Okay, hi friends. This video is not going as planned. I'm really struggling, I feel like. I'm currently in the middle of 3 different books, and even though I like them, I'm not convinced that any of them is gonna be a 5-star, which means that we will be in this vlog forever. So the books I'm currently reading are Dracula, because I need to focus on my October TBR. I'm also in the middle of He Who Drowned the World, but it's a bit of a struggle to get through because it's quite complex. And then also I started The Count of Monte Cristo, which I'm actually thoroughly enjoying. And out of these 3, this one is actually most likely to be a 5-star currently, although I'm only 20 pages in. But I mean, like, this book is massive. It's over 1,000 pages. It's also not a book that I really bring with me when I'm out and about. So I only read it at home, and I basically only read it before going to bed. So if this was to be the 5-star book, then we would be here for like a year or something. As I said, I'm really enjoying it. And out of these ones, most likely to be a 5-star. But it's not really optimal or the most effective thing to do for this video. I feel like I'm in a situation where I feel like this video will go on forever, so I'm deciding to use a secret weapon. So there's one author, and I believe I've given all of his books, except for one, 5 stars. There's one book of his that I have yet to read. So I thought that, hey, what if I attempt to read that book now? And we can actually get a 5-star for this video. The book that I'm talking about is a Fredrik Backman book called The Deal of a Lifetime. Obviously, I have the Swedish translation if you want to focus. I don't know. This is a Christmas book, and it's a novella. I'm reading it now in October. I don't know if that matters or not. But this man is known for making me cry and laugh and giving books 5 stars. So this is like my secret weapon. This is the way I'm gonna attempt to win at this vlog. This book is about 70 or 80 pages. My plan is, once I get home from work, I'm gonna attempt to read this one in one sitting. Fingers crossed, it's gonna be a 5-star. If it's not, then you might as well prepare yourself to be here for years, because these books are gonna take some time to get through, and it's not even certain that they are gonna be 5 stars. I'm really doing my best here, I really am, but I feel like reading-wise, reading vibe-wise, I'm just so restless in my reading and all over the place. Like, I want to read, I am enjoying these books that I'm reading, but it's not one that has like grasped me and grabbed me in that way. So I'm hoping that a Christmas book might be able to do that. We're gonna see. I don't know what this is about. I think, as always, it will discuss relationships, like all sorts of relationships, life, death, the meaning of Christmas. I don't know. But it's Fredrik Backman, so I have high hopes. Random note, I've been wanting to pick this up for a while, but it's out of stock as a physical book everywhere. So I think they need to reprint it or something, because I can't really find it anywhere, which is why I have it as an ebook. Otherwise, I would have it as a physical copy amongst my other Fredrik Backman books up here. That is the plan. I will catch up with you after work, and fingers crossed for a 5-star. Watch me not give that book a 5-star. Feeling that this is gonna be it. I haven't even started the story. I read the intro text and the dedication, and I've already highlighted 2 stuff. This man. Well, I did not give it 5 stars. I loved it. It was super quick, insanely quick. I don't know how quick I read it, honestly. So I read that one in like half an hour. It was super quick, really short, like 70 ebook pages, big ebook pages with a lot of breaks and also like images and stuff. I really liked it. It definitely made me emotional. It made me tear up a bit even. I didn't cry though. It's not necessarily related to Christmas at all, other than the fact that it takes place on like Christmas Day. It's more about death and if you've lived a life and could you trade a life for another life and similar. So like reflections regarding death and living and what you leave behind. I liked it a lot. I don't think I can give it 5 stars. I guess I'm gonna be stuck with this challenge forever. Am I gonna need to scrap my entire TBR just to get this video done? This was like my secret weapon. This was gonna be how I would win this thing. Not that it's like a competition, but you get what I mean. And I didn't. Hi friends. So it's the 10th of October. I believe I started this vlog sometime around like the 20th of September or something, and I've been struggling. As you've seen, none of the books I read have been 5 stars, and I have read, I don't know how many books, like 5 or 6 books during this time, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, 5 books. So perhaps that's asking too much. I sort of feel that this vlog is getting to me, and I haven't been reading that much this last week. I've been quite busy in life in general, so I haven't really been able to pick up a book, and the books I'm currently reading are not contenders for this 5-star thing, and I do want a video to put up on Thursday, so I'm gonna give up on this challenge for now. Unfortunately, I'm declaring this challenge failed, this video failed, but I do promise that I will make a part 2 sometime in the future. Hopefully I will do better. Once again, it's not that I've necessarily read bad books. Like 2 were 4 stars, 1 was a 4.5. It's just that I don't know what to do so that this video doesn't go on forever, basically. For my own sanity, I need to put this one aside for now. I know this vlog was supposed to end once I read a 5-star. I have not read a 5-star, but I'm ending this vlog and I'm so sad about it. Sometimes life gets in the way and I've been up to other things, and I just need to read without the pressure of finding a 5-star right now. It's like every day for the last week I've been thinking about like, how can I save this video? What can I read? What can I do? How should I do it? And it's like, it's taking too much of my brain power to think about this, and I need to read without the pressure of finding a 5-star. So that's what I'm gonna attempt. I promise I will get my revenge in the near future. I will do that. But for now, thank you so much for watching this mess of a video. I still hope you enjoyed it. And I did read a bunch of interesting books during this time, so I don't regret it at all. Thank you so much for watching. Please take care, and let's see you on the next one. Goodbye.
You gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes